Hello and welcome to our channel. First, let us carry out the installation of PostgreSQL. Go to Google, search for download PostgreSQL. Click on this link for Windows. Click on Windows. Then click on download the installer. Select the package suitable for your computer. After the download is complete, go to the downloaded package and run it. Click on next. Keep all these ticked. Then next. Next again. You can install it in a default directory or any other directory. You will be asked to set a password or a database for a database super user. Give a password of your choice and please do not forget it. Then you will be asked for a port number, and by default the port number is set as 5432, and I will leave it at that. Click next. Wait until installation is complete. Once the installation is complete, uncheck Stack Builder and click on Finish. To install in Linux, go to the Downloads page in the PostgreSQL website. Click on Linux, then click on the distro you are using. Mine is Ubuntu. Now copy these lines of code and run them in the terminal one by one. Once the installation is complete, we will go to this piece of article in a DigitalOcean website. First copy this line and paste it in terminal. This should start the Postgres service. Next, I will have to connect to the Postgres. So write PSQL. Now you are connected to Postgres. First I will list all the databases. I will explain all of this later on. So that's how you connect install in Linux. In Windows, go to the Start menu, find PostgreSQL and select, drag and drop the SQL Shell in the desktop. Now open the SQL Shell. Leave the server localhost blank, press enter. Also leave database, port and username blank. Now enter the password that you gave at the time of installation. Now you are running Postgres. Before we go into how we can create or read data, here are some of the commands that you will find useful. First is /l. This gives the list of databases. Then /help or /? Gives the list of commands and keywords that we can use. To exit the list, press +W and Q. To create our first database, we will write create database and a database name and give a semicolon to end the command line. Otherwise, the code will not be executed. If the database is created, then the terminal will return create database. If we look at the list of databases, we will find the new one we have just created. Next, to delete the database, we just have to execute the line drop database and the database name, and it will be deleted. The terminal will not ask for any kind of confirmation, so be very careful while executing the delete command. It is very easy to delete databases or tables, and now if we look at the list, we will not find it. Let's create a new database. Create database data1. In order to connect to the database, we have to pass in /c and the database name. A message will be displayed. You are now connected to database data1 as user Postgres. First, let's take a look at the syntax for creating tables, which is create table, table name, column name, means the name you are giving to the column, plus the data type that the column will contain, and plus if any constraints that you are adding to it. Now here is a list of different data types that PostgreSQL provides. SQL also allows us to define constraints on columns and tables. Constraints give us as much control over data in our table as we wish. If a user attempts to store data in a column that will violate a constraint, an error is raised. This applies even if the value came from default value from definition. In SQL, tables are fundamental structures used to store and organize data in a relational database. Each table consists of rows, also known as records or tuples, and columns, also known as fields. Columns represent different attributes or properties of data, and rows contain the actual data entries. A single database can contain multiple tables. Now to create a table, go to SQL Shell and code in create table person, that is the name of the table, then start parenthesis. To continue on to the next line, press return without giving semicolon. In the next line, ID, big serial, which is a data type, not none, a constraint meaning this cannot be left blank. Primary key. The primary key uniquely identifies a row in a table and is generated by Postgres. Then name, var character 50, not null. That is the limit, the number of characters is limited to 50. Then country, then phone, then email, and close parentheses and semicolon. And email, it does not have a constraint, so that means it can be left as blank. If the table is successfully created, a create table message will be displayed. /d, now /d, where d stands for description, gives the details of the database, and we can see the new table person. And if we put /d and the table name, it describes the table. The syntax for adding records to the table is insert into, then the table name, then the column name, then the values that you want to insert, value 1 and value 2. To clear the screen, we have to give reverse slash exclamation mark and CLS and enter. Let us insert our first record. Insert into person, then within parentheses give the column names separated by comma, name, country, phone, and then email. Then in the next line we will give the values. So values, and within parentheses and within inverted commas we will put the values Bravo, India, and a random phone number, comma, and an email. Then close the parentheses and give a semicolon. If the record is inserted, then insert 01 will be displayed. Now let us add another record. To display the in the table, code in select star from person means star means everything and the table name. But if you only want to display a single column, say country, Then select country from person. In the same way, we can display only the names. When we created a table, we did not place any constraints in the email column. So I will insert a record without an email. After adding a record, if we view the table, we will see that the email for Charlie remains blank. But what happens when we leave a column with non-null constraints blank? Let's take a look. It will throw an error null value in column phone of relation person violates not null constraints. If we want to display the details of one specific record, we, we can use the keyword where. Select star from person where ID equal to 3. If we replace star with column name, then only the name in the record will be given. Now to update a record, the syntax is update the table name, then set, which is a Postgres keyword, then the column name, the column which you want to update, and the value that you want to update with. And to specify the row where you want the specific record where you want to update, where id equal to the value. So let's try it out. Update person set phone equal to or some random numbers, where id equal to 3, sorry 2, update 1. Now if we look at the table, we will see the phone number has been updated. Now what happens if we don't specify the ID? Then if we run the update operation, then all the phone numbers will be updated in the column. So it's better to use the where keyword. We can also update multiple items at the same time. By say update person set phone, then comma, then the other column that you want to update with, and the ID. And now if we take a look at it, so both the columns will be updated. Now to delete, it's the same, delete from person where ID equal to 3. Only one record. Now if we look at it, if we don't specify the ID and under delete operation, the entire table will be, all the data will be deleted. So we should be very careful while using the delete operation. It is better to use the where keyword. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one.